Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sand Hills. It is time once again for Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams, along with the Colonel, retired Marine Colonel Jeff Drummond. Good morning, Colonel.
Hey, good morning, Moore County. Good morning, unfortunate Aberdeen. And we won't mention Robbins, at least not from what the pilot likes to refer to you as. Well, at any rate, if you missed your shower last night, take your soap and towel with you this morning. You might get a second opportunity because Steve has whipped up some good weather. He's got his favorite weather coming for you here today. So stand by.
Don't forget, of course, this program being heard and seen around the world on the live video stream. That's available right now at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is where the link's located. Click on it once and it'll get you there. And if you're on a mobile device, your YouTube app has to do the work, and you put Mornings with the Leader Man into that search. Now, if you're just looking at our audio, we suggest on your mobile device to use a streaming service such as TuneIn, iTunes, StreamUp. Put WEEB into the search, or you can get it off of our website anytime at talk973.com. Upper right-hand corner of every page has an icon that says Listen Live. Just click that once and you're listening that quick. It's simple as that. So, all right, let's see. Weather-wise for us today. Yesterday I was telling you we were going to get a break from this humidity, and then the long-range forecast changed last night. Said, in your dreams, Moore County. I just did that to tease you. Now it says it's going to be partly to mostly cloudy. All right, well, mostly partly cloudy, right on through Saturday. And the dew point's going to be way up there. Or it'll be around 75. Not good. And that's about as saturated as it gets around here.
Yes, even the mosquitoes have migrated into the studio from outside. It's so bad.
Yeah. They want some air conditioning. But, it's just going to be, these days you got to stay hydrated. That won't cool you down. Will keep you from cramping up. So, stay near some cold water, and I always try to, if it's possible, I have a cooler full of
beer.
Not beer, but ice water. Now, the ice water is not used for drinking. This is ice water. You put a bar rag in there and soak it, and it's cool, and you wipe that on your body, and it does have a little bit of an air conditioning effect.
Can I use a kitchen rag instead of a bar rag?
Well, whatever.
It won't have so much scotch and rye and whiskey on it.
But you can get these bar rags at the grocery store. That's what I do. When I go walking with the dogs out of the dog park, they have a spring-fed creek, which is very cool water. We're talking about 56-degree water. So that feels wonderful in the hot summertime, and I throw my rag down in it, get it wet, pull it up, and
that's not where the sewer overflows, is it?
No, it's above there.
Okay, all right. Just wanted to clarify.
It's the stream that carries it out. But no, this bubbles out of the ground about 200 yards up from where we sit.
Okay.
And it's nice and cool, and you sit there and you take the rag and you pat your face down and your arms down, and it's a little relief. It's no Shangri-La under it, but it helps. But pretty much going to be the same forecast right on through forever, next 10 days at least, with highs in the upper 80s, low 90s. But the dew point's just going to make it feel close to 100 every day. Right now around the Sand Hills, winds are south-southwest at 7, visibility 9 statute miles, pressure is 3009, dew point 72, that will climb. Humidity 94%. It's, like I said, radar showing a few patches of rain, not much. 73 degrees currently here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Now, I had a fun time last night myself. So much fun. I'm sitting there watching TV, trying to finish up this 8-part series called The Boys on Amazon.
Oh, I've seen that. Is that any good?
About superheroes.
Okay. All right.
Except they don't do much superhero stuff at all. It's more of the underlying plot that it's about. But yeah, it's pretty good. I wanted to finish it. And it's an 8-part, and I had it number 8 on the screen.
I'm assuming that you didn't finish it. Okay.
And all of a sudden, poof, power's out. I went, what the? I knew it wasn't the power company because I could see the street light burning. I went, I'll probably pop the breaker. Went and checked the breakers. Nope. Hadn't popped the breaker. Look into where the connection is for the high voltage, and we have smoke.
Uh-oh. That's not good. I guess it wasn't a mouse having a cigarette break, huh?
No, there's a couple of burning wires.
Ooh.
But this isn't good either. And I go dashing back in to cut the breakers off. That piece, that plug, and get it off. And of course, they're red hot, and I have to pull them apart with my special pliers.
You got a bar rag wrapped around the handles, do you?
Yep, that I had just soaked in the cool water. So I snipped the plug off, and I said, I need another one, obviously.
Yes.
So it's 9:15. I'm dashing off to Lowe's to get there before they close. And, of course, I have this unique ability to find the slowest person in Moore County when I'm in my biggest hurry.
They couldn't read the license plate, huh?
And I get behind pickup truck Joe doing 25 into 35.
Yeah, there's a few of them around.
And there's no getting around him. And he just, come on, Joe, go. No, we got to do 25.
Well, the wheels might fall off of it.
So just as I get to Lowe's, the doors are closing, and I go, wait a minute, I got to have a plug.
He didn't drive into the store?
Not quite. Had too many lawnmowers in the way.
Weren't looking for a lawnmower, you're looking for a plug. Okay.
So I went to the electrical plugs. And of course, this is the big plug, about the size of a stove plug.
Right.
And I get it. And we got one. I get it and check out. $11 later, I'm out the door. And I come back, and I get behind my very favorite kind of car, a moped.
Yeah.
Needless to say, I didn't stay behind said moped.
He could read the license plate in his rearview mirror.
Well, instead of the jerk getting over to the edge of the road so cars can get around him easier, he drives in the middle of the lane doing 10 miles an hour under because he's maxed out his little 30-mile-an-hour machine there.
Right.
So I get back here, and I said, golly, is it hot? I got your mosquito, by the way. No free air conditioning here. But I get back here, and I said, it is so ringing hot, it isn't funny. And I said, all right, I'm going to, I just pulled the line into the, into my SUV where it's cool and fix that bad boy.
Yeah, there you go.
genius at work here. But I forgot. There's one little crossover wire that I didn't have.
Uh-oh.
That burnt up in the process. Daggone it. So, said, well, this will have to wait till tomorrow. Meantime, I do have a full home generator.
Ah, there you go.
That runs on diesel. And I was almost certain I had enough for the night. I said, I'm going to make sure. So I get 2 5-gallon diesel cans and go to the...
Strike a match so you look in there and see whether they're filled.
No. I go to the Circle K and get 10 gallons of diesel. Bring it back. And these are brand new carriers. They have to be yellow. And have to be marked diesel.
Exactly, yep.
So I was in full compliance. And I bring them back and I try to hook the spout up to it. And you turn it upside down and nothing comes out. I went, well, what is the funky way we got to do now? And it's something to do with this red button that doesn't seem to do much.
Okay. Yeah, I know it's coming.
And I'm hot and sweaty this way. Now I have now stripped down to my underwear.
Well, that's all right. We don't need to go there. We can go back to the red button.
So the sweat pouring off my glistening muscles.
Yeah, there we go. All right.
My ripped abs.
Yep.
Yeah, you know the look.
I used to.
And I was trying to pour and nothing would come out. I went, why they got to make this complicated? In the past you just inverted the spout and screwed it on and poured the thing. Not anymore. They have a special safety feature on there, which they don't have any instructions about. I think I figured it out overnight that you probably twist it halfway and it opens up.
Twist it and push and it'll open up.
Well, I was too ticked to worry about that then, when you're lifting up all that weight trying to get it into the gas tank.
That's the problem. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just took the whole funnel off.
Yes.
And grabbed another funnel that doesn't have this issue.
Right.
And poured it in there and got my fuel in, the diesel fuel into the generator. And it did last all night long. But then I was watching, I got everything fired back up, was watching my show, and poof, all the power goes out again.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when I went. I said, that's all I need now. Now I'll have to go fix that. The 12 volts weren't coming on. That worked some control panels in the place. And so I just went reset all the breakers and 12 volts came back on. I said, I'm not cutting that TV back on the same.
Have to wait for the last episode till tonight.
Yeah.
Well, all of that, maybe you ought to think about buying a house.
Yeah. By the way, this morning show is brought to you by the great folks there at Whitewood Realtors Town and Country. Whether you're ready to buy or sell now or even a year from now, call the experts at Whitewood Realtors to get the service you deserve when buying or selling your home. Whitewood Realtors Town and Country, 910-235-3685. That's 235-3685. It was so really, 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 really humid last night. I wasn't doing anything that strenuous.
And it still is.
And I was just wringing wet.
Yep.
And I got accustomed to the smell of diesel fuel. Then I had to take a shower, get the diesel fuel off. Golly.
Yeah, well,
I'm sure everybody out there's got a story that'll one-up it. But
well, that's probably why those mosquitoes are in here, because the mosquitoes don't like diesel fuel.
oh, speaking of that, one of them bit me on the butt.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Right through the underpants.
Well, you can get Nick to scratch that one for you.
And it wouldn't quit itching.
Jesus. Good Lord.
But anyway, that was my Tuesday night for you. All right, 7:46. Let's see if we can start Wednesday off a little better than Tuesday was. We'll start off with a little name that sound for the Colonel.
Oh, here we go.
Here's a guess this sound for you. We'll play it without giving you any hints first, and then we'll give you some choices.
It sounds like a saw of some kind.
A saw of something.
Yeah, somebody's cutting something with a power saw.
All right, here are your three choices. Is it, and I'll play this way I tell you, a carnival ride that keeps starting and stopping, a combine harvester pelting people with confetti, or a garbage truck driving down a crowded street?
A garbage truck? Now, could be the confetti thing.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
Got it right.
Yeah, they're dumping bundles of paper in there, and it grinds it up and shoots it out.
That's what I wanted at my wedding.
Yeah, there you go.
Bring that combine over here and let it spit it out instead of corn seeds.
Husks and corn kernels, yeah.
Kenny Rogers, 81 today. His biggest hits, including duets with Sheena Easton and Dolly Parton. He announced his retirement in 2015 and performed his final concert in Nashville on October 25th of 2017. What was the name of the group he was with when he first started on TV?
Oh, I don't know what the name of that
Kenny
was.
Rogers and the something.
Yeah.
And he got rid of the something and kept on going. Anyway.
Yeah, because he started kind of late. He didn't have his first hit till he was in the mid-50s or something like that, right?
Only takes one to retire.
Yeah, that's true. He had a few. That's a fact.
Meanwhile, in Derry, New Hampshire, town officials there recently opened a time capsule on its 50th anniversary of being sealed. It was empty.
50 years.
Yeah.
Why would you open it after 50 years?
Because that's what they said do. Open it up after 50 years.
Okay.
It was empty. No one knows where the contents have gone or holds a list of what they should have been or anything. Some speculated it could have been some Alan Shepard items in it, who was the first American in space and from Derry. Here's the dumbfounded town librarian.
It took us several tries to get it open because we had the combination and it's an older safe. So by the time we actually got it open, there were a number of staff people standing around watching. We were a little horrified to find that there was nothing in it. It could have happened at any point in there. We've even speculated that nothing actually got it put in there in the first place. We just don't know. Because it was 50 years ago, the items were put in there. We're speculating that there may have been some Alan Shepard items in there. It was just the 50-year anniversary of the moon landing. So we just won't know what happened to them.
Well, they released a new trailer to announce the title of the upcoming James Bond film. The movie will once again star Daniel Craig and be called No Time to Die. Here's a quick listen to the trailer. It sounds like, they might be borrowing from the past. Here we go.
When you were young Good evening, 007.
You used to say you'd die another day.
My name is James Bond. Do you expect me to talk?
No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
There's no time to die.
I expect you to die.
No time to die.
Everybody has texted me and said it was Kenny Rogers in the first edition.
Oh, the first edition. Yeah, yep.
That was right. All right, best of the late night boys. This is David. I don't have any gonads spayed with Conan.
O.J. Simpson, you know O.J. is on Twitter now. He tweeted yesterday that he was apprehensive about his upcoming NFL fantasy draft. No worries, O.J. If you don't like a player, you just cut him. It's easy.
Oh, wow.
John Travolta said he'd like to be part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. How's he going to be a superhero if we already know his secret identity? The next James Bond movie will be called No Time to Die. This is based on the life of Betty White. That's nice.
Too soon.
Get that, Betty White.
Is it Comedy Central roast starting a little early?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Grandpa is here, and he's annoyed as usual with back to school crap.
What in the gold dang world's going on around here with all this back to school nonsense? You got Meet Your Teacher Day, Parents' Day, Get Your Schedule Day. What kind of crap is that? Back in my day, you walked barefooted 10 miles to school with an apple, a number 2 pencil, and a Big Chief tablet. And if you were late, you got the paddle on your behind from the principal. Those were the days. Now you got your get your iPad or iPod or iHop day. Well, phooey! I got your iPaddle right here, so come and get it. Now get back to school, you stupid kids.
All right.
That's like ancient grandpa there.
In honor of National Poets Day, which is August 21st, here's a haiku for you.
Ooh, a haiku.
It's time for Back to School Haiku.
Summer days are gone. Halls trampled by sneakered feet. Craving silence now.
Back to School Haiku.
Haiku, by the way, defined as a major form of Japanese verse written in 17 syllables, divided into 3 lines of 5, 7, and 5 syllables.
Right.
And employing highly evocative allusions and comparisons, often on the subject of nature or one of the seasons.
No, there's some famous haikus out there, but there, it's the thing is though, in the Japanese form, the Japanese language is a little different. So when you translate that to English, it's it's a little different. But yeah, it works. It works.
What's your degree in haiku? Oh, I bet you make lots of money haikuing, don't you?
Well, the Japanese philosophers would sit around doing that, I guess. I don't know.
In honor of National Spumani Day and National Poets Day, here's a beatnik slam poem about the tasty Italian ice cream.
Hey, Spumoni, creamy deliciousness from Naples. Not quite frozen custard, not quite gelato. Soft and cool sweetness, 3 layers that taunt my taste buds. Cherry, chocolate, and pistachio, Daddy-o makes me gladio. Neapolitan's cousin, hey Spumoni, carnival in my mouth, traditional Christmas treat mixed with nuts and fruits and whipped cream, makes my eyeballs dream. Hey, Spumoni.
He needs to eat more of it and talk less of it.
Well, what do you do with the guy in Ohio who decides to clear some overgrown weeds in his yard on Monday by, you guessed it,
Is that a flamethrower?
burning them down with a blowtorch and accidentally burning down 3 houses surrounding you.
What a moron.
Luckily, no one was seriously hurt. One of the firefighters said that the flames were about 100 feet high when he got there.
Holy, 100 feet?
Yeah.
Well, it was first time seeing when I got here. Flames were going about 100 feet up in the air. It was in between 2 houses. It started like in a garage area and back, but it had already gone to 2 other houses. So I radioed in for additional personnel and as much fire apparatus as we can get. As you can see, we've got at least 3 houses that are totally destroyed at this point.
Yeah, so do not clean your weeds with a blowtorch or a flamethrower.
That's special. He should run for public office, that guy.
The rudest state in America. What do you think it is?
The rudest state? Well, it wouldn't be one of the southeastern states. It would have to be the rudest state. I don't know.
A new study found the friendliest states in America are Minnesota, Tennessee, and South Carolina. And the rudest state is New York.
New York?
I'm walking here! I'm walking here!
That's not fair to all the upstate New York people, though. That really isn't. They should just narrow that down to city, and that would be New York City.
We did that. Let's see. How much time we got? All right. Planters has a new container that's just filled with neon orange cheese powder from their cheese balls. If you want one, you have to win it by tweeting at Mr. Peanut and telling them what food you put it on. It's part of a promotion to announce that cheese balls are back for good after they started selling them again last year. Here's the video they posted about it.
We're giving you the part you can't get enough of. The cheese powder. Yep, we're giving away cheese powder shakers to a few select insanely lucky winners so they can turn whatever they want into a cheese ball. Making every bite a mini celebration that cheese balls are back and they're here to stay.
And McDonald's is doing a promotion.
We believe people are good. That's why from August 21st to 23rd, we're dropping 500 McCafe It Forward cards across the U.S. If you get one, use it at McDonald's for one small free cup of premium roast coffee. Then pay it forward to a friend, someone who's done good in your life, or even a complete stranger. Just make sure to keep the good going. Let's show everyone there's a little good around every corner. We got this. Track the goodness at beabrewgooder.com.
All right. The Pay It Forward. All right, it is 8 o'clock. We got you the latest news, sports, and weather starting right now.
Hot temperatures will persist for today with highs climbing into the upper 80s and lower 90s. It could feel near the triple digits at times. Early rain showers will gradually fade out of our area. We do have small rain chances in place later this evening. Otherwise, tonight will be mostly dry with temperatures cooling into the lower 70s. Highs for tomorrow will be warmer in the 90s. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
Broadcasting from the top of the North Carolina Sand Hills, 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB, Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. President Trump says there are people in this country actually rooting for an economic downturn that would hurt Americans. because it would advance their political agenda.
I think the word recession is a word that's inappropriate because it's just a word that certain people, I'm going to be kind, certain people in the media are trying to build up because they'd love to see a recession. We're very far from a recession.
The president noting that employment is low and consumer spending high. Mr. Trump calling out the Democratic Party for defending Congresswomen Omar and Tlaib, denied entry to Israel because of their support for the anti-Israel BDS movement.
Where has the Democratic Party gone? Where have they gone where they're defending these two people over the state of Israel?
And Mr. Trump hoping to help re-elect a GOP governor who is a close political ally.
Today in Louisville, the president will headline a fundraiser for Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin, who faces a tough challenge from a Democratic rival in a state that Mr. Trump dominated back in 2016. Bevin has close ties with the president and hopes that will translate into success at the ballot box this November. The GOP governor also points to the state's job growth and low unemployment in his pitch for a second term. Greg Clugston, the White House.
Off the Florida coast, the search goes on for two firefighters missing since going boating in the Atlantic last week. Brian McClooney and Justin Walker set out in their 24-foot boat from Port Canaveral last Friday.
We've actually had over 200 searchers that have volunteered and come in to help.
The Coast Guard and other agencies searching a wide swath of ocean between Cape Canaveral and Jacksonville. On Wall Street this morning, stock futures pointing to a higher open later on. Right now, Dow futures are up about 204 points. NASDAQ futures better by 58, and S&P futures 20 points higher ahead of this morning's opening bell. More on these stories at townhall.com.
It is a horrible scenario, but it happens. Dennis writes about his wife. She was diagnosed with leukemia. In fact, she's a two-time survivor, and in the midst of all that, they ran up over $1 million in medical bills. Thankfully, they're MediShare members, and Dennis says they are so thankful for that, how others came together to meet their needs, and that's how so many MediShare members feel. This is not health insurance. It's different. You don't have to pay for things you don't believe in, and like Dennis found out, it just works. So if you join MediShare, not only do you save a lot of money, the typical family saves about $500 a month, but you know where your money's going each month. You're helping people, and if the time should come, they'll be helping and even praying for you. So yes, it's different, and as more than 400,000 people now know when it comes to healthcare costs, different is beautiful. Find out more. Call 844-45-BIBLE. That's 844-45-BIBLE. 844-45-BIBLE.
The leader of Sudan's Transitional Military Council sworn in as leader of the country's newly established Sovereign Council.
It's quite a big day for Sudan, and we just have to wait a few more days for the civilian cabinet to be formed, and a lot of Sudanese are pinning high hopes on this civilian cabinet. They wanted to put the country back on track. Sudan suffers from extreme poverty and poor infrastructure, so there is a lot to be fixed. But the people here are still quite worried because military men are still part of the Sovereign Council.
The BBC's Sally Nabil in Khartoum. The death toll in the suicide bombing at a wedding in Kabul, Afghanistan. The attack claimed by ISIS has risen to 80. The initial toll in Saturday's blast was 63, but 17 people later died of their wounds, according to the Afghan Interior Ministry. News and analysis at townhall.com. New York's Peter King becomes the first House Republican to support a ban on so-called assault weapons.
King joins 200 Democrats who've publicly announced support for a bill to ban semi-automatic weapons and large-capacity magazines. His announcement follows the twin mass shootings that claimed 32 lives and injured many more in El Paso and Dayton. Even if it passes the House, Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has no plans to introduce it in the Senate, and it's also opposed by President Trump.
That's Capitol Hill correspondent Wally Hines. Walmart suing Tesla, saying that several solar panels Tesla installed on Walmart store rooftops went up in flames, causing millions of dollars in damage. The retailer says fires broke out at 7 of its stores between 2012 and 2018. Merchandise was damaged. One store in Ohio had to be closed for 8 days. Again on Wall Street this hour, Dow futures up 200 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
War Dog's Army Surplus Store in Southern Pines is Southern Pines' #1 surplus store. Serving the Fort Bragg area, we buy, sell, and trade military, tactical, outdoor clothing, and gear. We are your military surplus low-price leader and take pride in serving our local military members and community. Bring us your military gear because we pay more and sell for less than anyone in the area, guaranteed. At War Dogs, we make it our top priority to provide quality, high-end tactical gear at the lowest prices. Come in today and bring your used gear or check out our massive inventory, the largest in Southern Pines. We're open Monday through Friday, 10:30 until 5:30 and 11 to 4 on Saturday. We're located at 675 Southwest Broad Street in Southern Pines, right across the street from Beefeaters. Or give us a call at 910-920-7749. That's 920-7749. War Dogs.
Hello, this is Clay Scott from Complete Contractor Services in Pinehurst. When I started my company, I was overwhelmed by all the typical workday tasks: hiring subcontractors, buying materials, writing proposals, payroll, and billing. The list goes on. One thing that always got put off was retirement planning. A good friend introduced me to Michael Gompers with Workplace Financial. Michael offered several innovative financial solutions to fund my retirement that deduct the premiums from our business taxes, and I keep more of my hard-earned money. I met with Michael and implemented his strategies. He's helped my business grow, become a great source of referrals, and we've since become good friends. Call Michael with Workplace Financial at 866-399-0999 to learn more about his financial strategies. I'm sure you will have a great experience too. That's 866-399-0999. And if you ever need contracting services, call Clay Scott at 910-724-3109.
This is Chuck from Sunbelt Service Pros. Are you just not feeling it anymore with your AC service provider? Are you calling those guys because that's what you've always done, or because there's a sticker on the thermostat with an old phone number on it? How about this? Take a chance and you'll be thrilled to find that you're getting real value for your heating and cooling dollars. When you call Sunbelt Service Pros, you are dealing with a professional and reliable service provider. Our technicians are highly trained and certified and can quickly address any issues. Our customers find our technicians and office staff courteous, friendly, and professional throughout the whole process. We're doing something right here. You need to check us out. Find out what you've been missing and call us today. Sunbelt Service Pros at 910-944-2044 or go online to sunbeltservicepros.com.
Kingswood Nursing Center in Aberdeen reminds us, each year thousands of senior citizens are put at high risk due to extreme heat. If you know of a senior alone, make it a part of your season routine to check regularly on their health and welfare. Your time will assure their safety. This message from Kingswood Nursing Center in Aberdeen. For a pleasant experience for all of your senses, stop in at 915 PD Road. Love is ageless, and growing older should always be graceful.
The Plumbing Night would like to thank all of our valued customers for voting them Best of the Pines for the last 2 years in a row. Extraordinary service and integrity is the lifeblood of the Plumbing Night. Come see us at theplumbingnight.com.
NCN News. I'm Mike Riley. President Trump continues to be aggressive when it comes to trade policy between the U.S. and China. He's also talking about the economy. CBS News White House correspondent Ben Tracy reports from Washington.
I've been thinking about payroll taxes for a long time. Whether or not we do it now or not is... it's not being done because of recession.
The president says he's not worried about a recession, even as his administration is trying to figure out ways to prevent one. Options include a payroll tax cut that would benefit most workers, or a cut to capital gains taxes, which would mainly help wealthy investors.
Early voting sites open today in 17 counties composing the Eastern 3rd Congressional District and 8 counties that fill the South Central 9th District. Mecklenburg County's Kristen Mavromatis tells WSOC News in Charlotte they've been getting ready for some time.
We are shipping out all of
of the materials for those sites. And in the other room, what you filmed was we are still testing Election Day precincts.
Iran is warning that international waterways won't be secure if its oil exports are cut to zero. CBS News correspondent Cammie McCormick.
Iran's foreign minister has accused the U.S. of waging economic warfare and says Iran may act unpredictably in response to what it calls President Trump's unpredictable policies. He also says no amount of foreign military presence in the Gulf can prevent trouble there. The U.S., Britain, and Bahrain have joined together in a mission to protect merchant vessels traveling those waters.
No arrests have been made after a 20-year-old man was shot to death on Tuesday afternoon just outside of uptown Charlotte. Amari McCaskill was shot near Johnson C. Smith University. Haywood County authorities say a 20-year-old inmate was found dead following an apparent suicide in his cell. Authorities say Zachary Nathaniel Lambright was found unresponsive during a detention officer's observation. You're listening to NCN News.
Medicaid expansion, school safety, a statewide bond package, the next state budget. North Carolina lawmakers are tackling these and other topics. You can follow all the action with Carolina Journal. How would these proposals affect you, your wallet, your family? Carolina Journal offers answers. Available each month as a free newspaper. Every day online at carolinajournal.com. Carolina Journal, your best source for government news that affects you. Visit carolinajournal.com today.
Owning an LS tractor is about a lot of things.
For me, it's about lift capacity.
It's about the hydraulics.
Owning an LS, it's about how well it's made.
Steel, baby. More features.
Standard features.
It's about the land. Making it better.
Having something to pass down.
It's about owning the best.
Find your local LS dealer at lstractorusa.com and see what it's about for you.
Flu season is just a few weeks away, and while you may get a flu shot, the government says migrants at border detention centers won't. More from CBS's Vicki Barker.
Customs and Border Protection citing, in its words, the short-term nature of CBP holding and the complexities of operating vaccination programs. 3 migrant children have died of flu in the past year. Doctors from Harvard and Johns Hopkins noting that fact and calling on Congress to investigate conditions at migrant detention facilities. And an internal watchdog found more than 2,500 unaccompanied children had been held for more than the legally mandated 3 days. Vicki Barker, CBS News.
A public forum was held in Wilmington to allow residents to give their input about the potential sale of New Hanover Regional Hospital. Hundreds of people showed up to have their voices heard. New Hanover County Commissioner Pat Cusick told WECT News,
"We can't just put our feet in the sand and stand out in the ocean and expect the sand not to run out from under us."
Jurors are set to hear opening arguments in the trial of a white man accused of fatally shooting an unarmed black man during a dispute over a parking space in Florida.
5 men and a woman have been seated as jurors for the trial of Michael Drake. He's accused of fatally shooting Marquise McLaughlin in July 2018. Prosecutors say Drake confronted McLaughlin's girlfriend for parking in a handicapped space. Convenience store video shows McLaughlin leaving the store and shoving Drake to the ground. Seconds later, Drake pulled out a handgun and shot McLaughlin as he backed away. McLaughlin ran inside the store where he collapsed and died. I'm Mike Hempen.
Tropical storm Chantal has formed over the northern part of the Atlantic Ocean. National Hurricane Center officials say Chantal has produced maximum sustained winds of 40 miles per hour. The storm is expected to move out to sea. Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Early showers will gradually clear out of the area as we get through the day. Temperatures will climb into the upper 80s and lower 90s. Our feels like temperatures for today will near the triple digits as well. By tonight, we'll see mostly dry conditions and clouds clearing out. Temperatures will fall into the lower 70s. We have a very small chance for rain on Thursday. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
Right now, here in the Sand Hills area, we have mostly cloudy skies, 73 degrees, humidity 94%, 2.72, pressure 3009, wind south-southwest at 8, and visibility wide open at 10 statute miles. Taking a look at your Sand Hills news for this Wednesday morning, the North Carolina Supreme Court has agreed to consider a case between Moore County and Pine Bluff that could determine the county's authority over its municipalities on some zoning matters. In particular, the court will hear Moore County's appeal of a unanimous ruling by the Court of Appeals that Pine Bluff does not need the commissioner's approval to extend its zoning authority beyond its borders. The county's request for the state's highest court to intervene had been pending since November. An appeal to the Supreme Court is not automatic in cases where there is a unanimous appeals court ruling. Such a hearing is rare. The Supreme Court grants what is called a discretionary review in only about 6% or less of such cases, according to the county attorney. And a Pine Bluff man is behind bars and charged with murder and robbery with a dangerous weapon. Kaya Carlton Jackson, 20, was arrested at his home Friday by Richmond County Sheriff's Department with assistance of the Moore County Sheriff's Department. On August 13th, Richmond County Sheriff's Department found Najemel Jacques Goodwin behind the Hoffman Community Center, suffering from what appeared to be a gunshot wound just after 10 p.m. Anyone with information on this active case is asked to call the Richmond County Sheriff's Department. That's your latest Sand Hills news this morning. Stand by, here comes all your latest in sports. Right here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB. It is 8:17.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. Major League Baseball, some exciting action last night. Lots of home runs. Nelson Cruz was 4 for 5 with a solo homer. 3 ribbies and 3 runs scored as the Minnesota Twins stormed past the White Sox 14-4 to open a 3-game lead over Cleveland in the AL Central. The Indians were knocked off by New York. Michael Conforto belted a tie-breaking 2-run homer in the 6th. That helped the Mets break free in the eventual 9-2 rout of Cleveland. Matt Olson and Mark Canha hit back-to-back homers in the first inning to jumpstart Oakland's 6-2 win over the Yankees. It was their 5th win in their last 6. In Houston, George Springer, Jose Altuve, and Martin Maldonado all homered to lead the Astros past Detroit 6-3. St. Louis, they held on to their half-game lead over the Cubs atop the NL Central. They beat the Brewers 9-4. Anthony Rizzo, he homered twice and kept the Cubs at pace with St. Louis by topping the Giants 5-3. A Braves win and a Washington loss give Atlanta a 6-game lead over the Nats in the NL East. Freddie Freeman was 3 for 4 with 2 homers in the Braves' 5-1 win over the Marlins, while Starling Marte belted a 3-run homer off Daniel Hudson to cap a 4-run 8th. That gave Pittsburgh a 4-1 win against the Nationals last night. The Carolina Panthers prepping for their 3rd game of the preseason with a trip to Foxborough to face the Patriots tomorrow night. Unlike the first 2 games, the first-team starters are expected to get some significant playing time. Bill Belichick also expected to give Tom Brady and company more time on the field. After practice yesterday, Ron Rivera talked about what he expects or would at least like to see out of Cam Newton and the first-team offense.
I think a lot of it is going to be about the flow of the game more than will be anything else. Ideally, you like to have several, 3 or 4 really good possessions, and then you go from there and make your assessment.
This is NCN Sports.
Being a Farm Bureau insurance agent means being local. It means insuring your child's first car and standing beside you after a storm. It's more than a business to us. It's a friendship. So call an agent who calls North Carolina home. Because when you need us, we're there. In every county, every day. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
Summer may be winding down, but you'll still find plenty of hot specials and cool shows on UNC TV tonight. Grab some nuts and settle in for a night of nature with A Squirrel's Guide to Success. Then get a new perspective about life from the vantage point of space on Life from Above. That's just some of the sizzling shows designed to help keep you happy, healthy, and wise. Now through August 25th, only on member-supported UNC TV, PBS, and more at unctv.org/specials.
Clemson quarterback Trevor Lawrence is headlining the Associated Press preseason All-America team. Lawrence just became the first freshman quarterback to lead a team to a national championship in more than 30 years. Clemson and number 2 Alabama tied for the most first-team selections with 3. In other college football news, sophomore quarterback JT Daniels will start at Southern California for the second straight season. Coach Clay Helton announced Daniels won a 4-man competition for the job over freshman Keaton Slovis, redshirt junior Matt Fink, and redshirt sophomore Jack Sears. A judge has set May 5th as a trial date for the gender discrimination lawsuit filed by the women's national soccer team against U.S. Soccer just over 2.5 months before the Tokyo Olympics. The players sued U.S. Soccer in March, alleging institutionalized gender discrimination that includes inequitable compensation when compared to their counterparts on the men's team. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
If you are retired or retiring soon, Delta Dental of North Carolina has dental insurance plans to fit the needs of you and your family. Our individual plans provide access to the largest network of dentists locally and nationwide, which means you may find affordable care wherever you are. Your teeth never retire. Protect them with a dental plan from Delta Dental. For more information, go online to deltadentalnc.com or call 1-800-587-9514. DeltaDentalNC.com.
Donuts so heavenly you'd think they were made by angels. Southern Angel Donut Company is now open for your heavenly pleasure in Olmsted Village behind the First National Bank. And the angels are up daily at 3 a.m. making donuts the old-fashioned way, preparing holy taste bud delights like the maple bacon donut or their special apple fritters. And hey, Southern Angel Donuts make great business icebreakers because who doesn't like a great donut? Give Southern Angel Donuts a try today. Open 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily.
Are you a do-it-yourselfer, home builder, or remodeler? If so, bring in the best deal you're getting in Moore County for your flooring, and Hardwood Liquidators will match it and beat it. Right now, we have over 130,000 square feet in our warehouse stacked with solid engineered, laminate, and waterproof luxury vinyl plank. Like the farmhouse look, our farmhouse bandsawn French oak solid flooring starts at $449 a square foot. Financing is available with approved credit. We're at 707 South Pinehurst off Highway 1, right across the street from McNeil Oil, or call us at 910-757-0478. Hardwood Liquidators. More floor, less money. Born in Napoli, Italy, Sal Doria, owner of Fratello's restaurant in Pinehurst, makes his hand-tossed pizza with the passion of a true Italian. Fresh ingredients, homemade mozzarella, and amore. Come in and experience the ambiance of European luxury, hearty cuisine, warm hospitality, and an outstanding wine and beer list. Military families, come in and 15% of your meal is on us. Every Friday and Saturday night from 6:30 to 9:30, Fratello's welcomes Carolina's favorite piano man, Clarence Levine. Feel like staying in tonight? Fratello's has got you covered with Grubhub and DoorDash, so you can simply call in your order and have it delivered to your doorstep. We're located at 9735 U.S. Highway 15501 in Pinehurst, just a few doors down from Hickory Tavern. Fratello's Restaurant, making you fall in love with food all over again.
Opioid addiction is a crisis in Moore and surrounding counties, but there is a local doctor, Francis Corrigan of Solace Health, helping patients in recovery.
At Solace Health, we have had a great deal of success with opioid addiction treatment using medications such as Suboxone on an outpatient basis. Treatment is low cost as we accept all insurance, including North Carolina Medicaid. The treatment occurs in a very pleasant and private outpatient office setting where patients are treated with compassion and dignity. If you or your loved one needs help with opioid addiction or other drug or alcohol problems, please call us to speak to one of our nurses about our treatment program. We also have extensive experience in transitioning patients from methadone programs to Suboxone outpatient treatment.
Solace Health is located at 285 Olmsted Boulevard in Pinehurst. Call 910-295-7246. All calls are confidential. 910-295-7246 or visit recovermore.com. MOORE.
Hi, this is Dave Pierce with Renerick on US 1 down in Aberdeen. Don't let the name fool you. We have clean, dependable, late model cars and vans available. We've been serving the community for over 25 years with our fast, friendly service without the hassle. Ask about our weekly special. You pay for 6 days and get the 7th day for free. Call now to book your reservation, 910-944-9444. 910-944-9444. But don't let the name fool you. 910-944-9444. I promise you it's the best wreck you ever got into.
100 years of making is here at Keys Appliance Center. Now through September 25th, you can get up to $2,055 on select KitchenAid brand major and countertop appliances via mail-in rebate. Endless possibilities, new challenges, just what you'd expect from the brand made for makers. Products designed to help you unlock your potential and inspire creativity. 100 years of making is a celebration of investing in your passion. Stop into Keys Appliance Center, where we're marking a century of inspiration with KitchenAid savings. Offer valid July 25th through September 25th, 2019. See store for full details and qualified models.
Hey, this is Steve Leader Adams. You know, for many years, I've had arthritis in my right shoulder. I was at the point that surgery was the only option. Then I discovered pressure wave therapy, available at Wright Chiropractic in Seven Lakes. Pressure wave therapy is a machine that concentrates pulses of pressure waves into your joint at a rate of 2,000 pulses per minute. The treatment is non-invasive and there is no downtime. Pressure waves help your body restore blood flow to your damaged joints and can even remove bone spurs, and works on almost any joint in the body, including knees, hips, feet, and elbows. I've gone to only being able to raise my arms from 90 degrees to a full 360-degree motion. You can live pain-free too, without going under a surgeon's knife. Give Dr. Sharon Wright a call at Wright Chiropractic in Seven Lakes. 910-673-2225. That's 910-673-2225. The Plumbing Night would like to thank all of our valued customers for voting them Best of the Pines for the last 2 years in a row. Extraordinary service and integrity is the lifeblood of the Plumbing Night. Come see us at theplumbingnight.com.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in the Zumwalt Zone. This story may get me in a little trouble with some of the more pious out there, but it's a real story about a real little boy and his dad. All right, I'm the dad in the story, and the little tiny tot was my son, J.D. He works out in Los Angeles now as a stand-up comedian. I miss him a lot. Our whole family was in Toys R Us, and J.D. and I were in an aisle all alone. I had a pretty serious upset stomach that day, and I needed some relief. Well, since it was just the boy and I got some relief in the aisle in complete privacy. Well, when we get to the next aisle, with people everywhere, J.D. decided to blurt out, "You did an air poopy, Dad?" I kind of nodded a little bit to shut him up. No, he yelled out again, "You did an air poopy, Dad?" This went on. Finally, I had to look at him and say, "Yes, son, I did an air poopy," with all those people listening. There was no other way to shut him up. Well, Moore County Schools, you've done a gigantic air poopy. You can ignore it all you like, but it stinks to high heaven, and you're not going to shut me up until you engage in a conversation about this in a public forum to answer questions. This business of you issuing misleading statements that the pathetic pilot prints for you has got to stop. Answers, lots of answers, are owed to all of us. I want to tell you something. It stinks pretty bad in Moore County, and I can guarantee you that smell's not coming from the Zumwalt Zone.
Hot temperatures will persist for today, with highs climbing into the upper 80s and lower 90s. It could feel near the triple digits at times. Early rain showers will gradually fade out of our area. We do have a small rain chances in place later this evening. Otherwise, tonight will be mostly dry with temperatures cooling into the lower 70s. Highs for tomorrow will be warmer in the 90s. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills' #1 morning show. Mornings with the Leader Man. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
Today's show is brought to you by Way Back Wednesday. Remember when the 80s could make anything fun? Even politics?
The politics of dancing. The politics of feeling good. The politics of moving. Oh, it's this message on the store.
Guess what day it is?
Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's a great day.
No way. The week's not even through yet.
Well, we are halfway through the week.
Like midway through.
There's just something very exciting about that.
Yep, nothing to get excited about.
Every day above ground is a good day. So that means
Today is a good day.
Okay, Mr. Positive.
Mr. Positive.
We get it.
Can we start?
Can we start now?
Yes! It's showtime!
Yeah, oh yeah, what condition my condition was in.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sandhills. It's time once again for Mornings with the Leader Man. Last hour, we were talking about it being Kenny Rogers' birthday, and I mentioned, didn't he play with the group to begin with? And John and some others texted me and said, yes, it was the first edition, and this is one of their bigger hits. As with the what am I saying? The new Kenny Rogers in the first edition, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, don't forget, of course, this program being seen around the world on our live video stream. That's available right now at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is where the link's located. It will get you there if you're on your mobile device. YouTube will get you there. Just put Mornings with the Leader Man in the search. Leader Man, all one word, spelled like it sounds. And if you're just looking at our audio stream, you can get it off of your mobile device using a streaming app such as TuneIn, iTunes, or Streama. They're free and available at your app store. Just put WEEB into the search. And if you're on our website, you can get it in the upper right-hand corner of any of our web pages at talk973.com. The icon says listen live on the air. Click that once, listen that quick. Weather for us today here in the Sandhills area, well, for the next 10 days, it's just a continuation of what we've had. Hazy, hot, humid, ugly, partly cloudy, scattered thunderstorms. Highs will be in the low 90s every day with a chance of those thunderstorms. And at night, we see the low to mid 70s for a low, as well as your local mosquito. Other than that, it's just the same day after day after day. It is Groundhog Day summer. Right now around the Sandhills, winds are south-southwest at 8, visibility 10 statute miles. Pressure is 3009, 2.72. Humidity 96%. It's partly cloudy and 76 degrees currently here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And this morning's show is brought to you by Weicker Realtors, Town and Country. Whether you're ready to buy or sell now or even in the future, call the experts at Weicker Realtors to get the service you deserve when buying or selling your home. Weicker Realtors, Town and Country, 910-235-3685. That's 910-235-3685. All right. It is 8:31 past the hour. John Zumwalt in here with this extended Zumwalt zone this morning and loaded for bear.
Well, good morning, Steve. Good morning, everybody. And good morning, Colonel, if you're able to listen at the moment. I'm going to do something a little different today. I want to start off by reading something that I only saw this morning, and it's a comment on Facebook by a lady named Cammie David. And I think she summed this up about as well as I've ever heard anyone sum it up. And she's talking here about the schools, the Aberdeen school that's being built on a site that's we believe is dangerous, or even has the potential to be dangerous, if you will. She says this, I'm going to quote, she says, I have no issue commenting with my real name here or in the article. How in the heck can anyone be okay with this? I don't care if you have kids, don't have kids. Don't care if you're a Republican, a Democrat, pro-Dr. Bob, anti-Dr. Bob, pro or anti-Board of Education. This is not okay. Barath, Dr. Bob, and members of the Board of Education have stood in front of us parents, talking down to us, mocking us, telling us this site has been, quote, proven safe, end quote, that there is no concern over it, that the concern is all made up by racist parents against redistricting. Well, these emails show, we'll talk about those emails in a minute, but back to her statement, what we've all been saying, that back in 2017, before redistricting was even on the table, that there was a concern about this site, that the expert hired by the school to tell us the site was completely safe said they could not do that. They could only assume it was safe. That's like the brakes failing in my car. Me taking it to a mechanic, having the mechanic do the bare minimum to fix them, having him tell me that he assumes they're fixed, but he recommended I do certain other things and take it for a test drive before I take it to the mountains on a trip. Well, I decide not to do these things and go with the bare minimum and the assumption that all is good. And then asking your kids, or your kids, to ride shotgun with me and not telling you about my brake problem. Would you be good with that? If I told you, as we headed down the mountain, about my brake problem, and that I didn't do everything the expert said I need to do to make sure they were repaired, would you be okay with that? And the answer is no. No, you wouldn't. All right. I would like to now, well, I need to tell you first, I emailed every member of the school board yesterday and asked them if they knew about the 2 emails that I discussed on here Monday, and whether or not if they didn't, I don't remember my exact words, but I asked them for their response individually, what they would like to say. And I also invited them to come on this show anytime they wanted to. They could, 1 or 2 of them, come on and just explain themselves. I would like to see a forum in which we could ask questions and not be lectured to, and we could actually debate. So now I'd like to read you the responses that they sent back. I would like to read you the responses, but they didn't send any responses back. I don't know if they're being advised by an attorney not to do that, or if they just think it would be that they couldn't defend them, or what their problem is. But I'm really deeply sorry, because like Cammie said, no matter what your feelings are about Dr. Bob or the schools, or if you hate me personally, how could you possibly be in favor of this school going in? I did get an email yesterday from Catherine Murphy. Miss Murphy is the Director for Communications for the Moore County Schools, and I want to address her concerns. Here's what she had to say. Mr. Zumwalt, I had the occasion to listen to yesterday's program on WEEB. Well, I've got to stop first and say, well, thank you, Miss Murphy, for being a fan, and it's always good to hear from fans. I appreciate that very much. Now, I want to tell you, I see Miss Murphy from time to time, and when I do, we always, greet each other and shake hands. She's very professional, very polite. I really have nothing bad to say about her.
I do.
She's always treated me very politely and very professionally, and I've always appreciated it. But she goes on to say, after she says she listened, I am requesting that you issue an on-air correction to the claim. Now, look at the way that was worded, the claim. A claim is a kind of a lawyer word. It means it's not really a fact. It's a claim. You claim, anyway, that you made on the air related to the questionnaire completed by John Barath as part of Phase 1 environmental assessment study on the new elementary school site. Well, let me address this, because it's really kind of pitiful. It's kind of pitiful that we're building a school on a site, and this is how...
You might want to explain Phase 1, Phase 2.
Okay.
So they kind of distinguish it in their minds.
All right. Well, before we started building the school, the school system conducted a Phase 1 study. And I've read the thing I don't know how many times, and the more I read it, the more I realize how it says nothing. It's a phase, and you can read it, and it's online. It's online numerous places, including the school board's website. And we'll talk about that in just a minute. But then a Phase 2 is a much more comprehensive study, and that's the one that we have pushed for here on this radio station. And finally, the superintendent said he was going to conduct a Phase 2. I call it a fake 2 because it's not really a Phase 2, and I'll talk more about that as well. But her complaint was that John Barath filled out this user questionnaire as in his capacity at the Moore County Schools. And the question is this, on this particular question is, as the user, based on your knowledge and experience related to the property, are there any obvious indicators that point to the presence or likely presence of contamination at this property? And he said yes. He said yes to the question, are there any obvious indicators that point to the contamination or likely contamination at the property? And he said yes, for crying out loud. And then he said, see item 3 above, handwritten. Well, I didn't have item 3. I was not able to get item 3, but Ms. Murphy said I had it and sent it to me again yesterday. Well, I didn't, and so no on-air correction, but I'll read it now. It says, do you have any specialized knowledge or experience related to the property or nearby properties? For example, are you involved in the same line of business as the current or former occupants of the property or an adjoining property, so that you would have specialized knowledge of the chemicals and process used by this type of business? Well, he said yes, he does have specialized knowledge of the chemicals. And he said when they asked him to explain fully, he handwrote, land north of site across Route 5 was a previous burn site that, according to owner, all tests well indicate site is clean. Oh, that's a great thing to go on. That is your big argument. Respectfully, Miss Murphy, and when I say Miss Murphy, I know I'm actually talking to the school board and the school board members, and actually I'm talking to Grimacy and Barath, because she is their voice. We can't apparently talk to them. They will never, ever answer anything that they're asked, except if they're at a school board meeting where they can speak down to you and you're not able to speak back. So that's why I invite anyone on the school board, any two at a time, including Barath and Grimacy, to come on this radio show anytime you feel like you're being put upon or we're saying something that's not true. Please come on, and we'll talk about all the problems the school has, and you can answer us. But you'll be able to answer us when there's someone here who can actually respond to you. Miss Murphy had another complaint, and she wanted an on-air correction for this one too. And I'm going to tell you, you're not going to get an on-air correction because there's nothing to correct. There's absolutely nothing, and I'm going to prove it to you right now. But first, I feel, in fairness, I have to read what she wrote. She very politely wrote, I'd also like to provide for your information the two emails you referred to on the air are related to a scope of work in the commissioning of a follow-up addendum to the Phase 1 report, which was conducted and provided to Moore County Schools May 23, 2017. And then she wrote, it is incorrect to imply that no additional testing occurred following the Phase 1 assessment. This addendum is also located on our website. Well, now she's forced me to go back to the original two emails. And I'm going to try to be brief with this because you've heard them before, and there's other things I want to say. John Barath had written an email to Building and Earth requesting them to say, hey, all is well. There's no problem. There are no chemicals here. You may move out there. And they got an answer. 2 days later, May the 12th, 2017. Here's what Building and Earth said to them. They said, John, this document does not demonstrate there are no hazards remaining. In fact, as of the date of the document, it appears that contaminated materials were still stored on several of the various areas that make up the pesticide dump site. Now, this is me talking now. And they're still there. They're still there. Now, let me read from paragraph 2. I'm just going to read from the last sentence. It says this. I'll read from the paragraph. Building and Earth tells John Barath, it also does not address the risk of hazards making their way to the school site. And then I'll skip to the very last sentence, and it says, long-term monitoring of multiple groundwater wells on and around the site would be required to prove our assumptions. Now, Miss Murphy was kind enough to send me a link to the other memorandum that she says disproves what I had said, what I had stated, and the conclusion that I had drawn from this email. The conclusion I drew from the email I just sent you is that no, there are still pesticides there. They can't demonstrate that there are no hazards remaining, and that the only way to find out is to have long-term monitoring of multiple groundwater wells to prove it. Okay, now here's the big genius, amazing Perry Mason Supreme Court proof that they send to counteract that. Remember the one I just read you was on May 12th? May the 23rd, 6 working days later, imagine all of a sudden there's a new email from the same gentleman from Building and Earth. And it's 2 or 3 pages long, but I'll just read you the the part that I have time to read. I'm not, I don't want you to think I'm cherry picking, because you can certainly read this. You can call Miss Murphy at the schools and she'll direct you to it. It says this: the information gathered during our additional investigation supports the opinion and conclusions stated in our report that the assessment revealed no evidence of recognized environmental conditions in connection with the property. Well, imagine that. May the 12th, there were hazards, and there was going to take long-term testing of several different wells. And then on May the 23rd, when someone, I believe, it's my opinion, someone said, oh, no, we can't have that in writing. We've got to have something in writing that will cover us for this. So 6 working days later, all of a sudden, we have an assessment revealed evidence of no recognized environmental conditions in conjunction with the property. Well, I'm not buying it, folks, and I'm not buying it, Miss Murphy. Thank you for providing that information. It confirms even more what I felt. Miss Murphy also, oh, by the way, there's not one thing in that document that you sent me, the one that I just read and invite folks to read. I always tell people, please do not believe a word I say to you. Don't take it at face value. Look these things up for yourself, because they're all the documents are there. I didn't just wake up in the middle of the night and think, I think I'll say this, or I think I'll say that. Speaking of, they're so proud that they put this phase 1 study on their website. The school is just so proud of it. I want to give you a quote from Policy Watch, and here it is. The district acknowledged to Policy Watch last month that it did not submit the phase 1 assessment for public comment as suggested by the EPA, but they did provide the documents to anyone who requested it. After discussing the assessment with Policy Watch, the district posted it on the website. Now, this has been a bone of contention with me for some time. The schools, through Ms. Graham, say to us, well, we didn't put this on our website and we didn't open it for public comment, but we did offer it up to anyone who requested it. Well, who even knew to request it? Who would even think, I think I'll request a phase. Who would even think of something like that? None of us did. I'm going to say it again. And by the way, a lot of these videos are disappearing off the school board website. Maybe it has something to do with their new system. I don't know. But now when you go to look for a video that's been there for years or months or a week, they're not there. And I would like to know why. But the bottom line is that they've done nothing for so long that it's just pathetic. Now, here's a question. And this goes back to Cammie David. Why, one more, why are we even talking about this? Why are we debating this? Ladies and gentlemen, this is a school we're talking about, a school for small children. Why would we even think about building a school on a site that could be any risk whatsoever involved? Do you know the current mayor of Aberdeen has been tested through EPA channels? Now, he was okay according to reports, but here's my point. If they're going to test the mayor, there's got to be some contamination there. They haven't checked the mayor of any of these other cities. The companies have no idea where this stuff was dumped. Do you remember I told you Monday that one trench that they didn't even know about, that no one ever heard of, was discovered while they were checking another trench, again, after it had been declared safe, and they had to reopen it because of problems. One trench had 12 million pounds of pesticide waste. They didn't even know it was there. They found a total of 6 they didn't know about. The truth is, no one knows where all this stuff was dumped. And if we have to investigate something like this, why would we build a school there? I want to ask you this question. If you were going to build a house and all these things came to light, would you build a house on that place? You wouldn't. Of course not, and neither would I. And here's something else that Miss Murphy referred me to. These are questions and answers that are on their website, and they are absolutely ridiculous. They sound good if you know nothing about this. The first one says, is the new elementary school in Aberdeen being built on a Superfund site? And the answer is no. It is not being built on a Superfund site. I would like to say to you that that's a lot like asking, is the grenade directly under you? And the answer is no, the grenade is not directly under you. When the truth is, the grenade's 5 feet from you. Well, the new Aberdeen site is being built at least within a half mile or under a half mile from the dump site. And for all we know, the school itself might have had chemicals dumped on it, because we've got statements that say, man just drove down the road in trucks, it doesn't say what kind, and dumped this stuff. They just emptied it. So we don't know, and neither do they, and neither does anyone else know where all these chemicals were dumped. Then they say, then what's the controversy, the question is, on a school board site? Then what is the controversy surrounding the school site and its proximity to some Superfund sites? And they wrote a lot, and one of the things they wrote was, they said this, site contamination does not currently threaten people living or working nearby. Well, that's what the EPA said. That's correct. But they didn't know there was a school that was going to be built there, dummies. They had no idea you were going to take that information and build a school there, for crying out loud. The question is, how close is the closest pesticide dump? It's just and they answer, it's located under 1/2 mile from the school. They say it's considered clean by the EPA in terms of cleanup. Well, Monday I read you information that told us that just because a site is considered clean, we've got numerous examples in Aberdeen where, after the site was considered clean, they had to come back and they discovered, no, it's not clean at all. Now, here's one that's an outright lie. Miss Murphy, you challenged me to make an on-the-air correction. Well, I'm going to challenge you to make an on-your-website correction. How do you know if that site is, let me rephrase this, and let me tell you first, this is actually on the school board website. You can find it. It says, question, how do you know if that is far enough away? Answer, the EPA and the NCDEQ have determined the site does not pose a threat to people living, working, or attending school nearby. That is an outright, bold-faced, barefaced lie. Nowhere on there will you find anywhere on any EPA site or anyone else's site that says if you build a school right there, it does not pose a threat. What it says is it does not pose a threat under current conditions to people. And the reason it doesn't is because under current conditions, there's no one there. There's no school there. There's no nothing there, because no one could unload that land until they dumped it on the school for $9,000 an acre, when we pay whatever it is, $70,000, $80,000 an acre for the other schools. And then they ask the question, by the way, Ms. Murphy, I respectfully would be looking for a change for the truth on that answer. I know it'll probably take you a couple hours, but anyway. Question, when was the last 5-year review of the site conducted? And they go on to talk about how it was conducted in 2018, the last one. Well, again, that poses another question. Why is the EPA checking that land every 5 years? Do they come check your house every 5 years to see if there's any unexploded ordnance that's shown up, or there's any pesticide that's shown up, or they come check your water or your well or the can? No. Why? Again, the 3-letter word, why? Why? School board, I understand why you're hesitant to quit building this, and because you're probably all going to look like fools. And it's a huge mistake. $35 whatever million this thing has cost so far, just thrown away. I get it, but look, as I said the other day, don't try to blame us for that. You are the ones who did it. You didn't do your homework. You trusted Bob Grimacy and you trusted John Barath, and the 2 emails that I read you are proof that they knew before that this thing was not safe. And there is absolutely no way out of this. You either knew about those emails or you didn't. And when we first started this whole thing, I made the statement to the school board. I know you. I know every one of you. I know 3 of you at least are good, compassionate, tear-filled people when it comes to kids. And I can't imagine why you wouldn't stand up and say, okay, like Cammie David said, it doesn't matter how you feel about anything else. This is ridiculous. This is beyond the point of ridiculous. They're studying this thing every 5 years. Then they ask, what has the school board, their question is, what's the school board done to ensure the site where the school would be built is safe? And they talk about this addendum that I just read you, that it revealed no evidence of recognized environmental conditions. Well, that's exactly the opposite of what they said 6 working days before, and they said it would take extended study over a long period of time, and they reversed themselves within 6 working days. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. And the last question says, will the district be conducting a Phase 2 assessment? And here's how they answered that. Phase 2 assessments are not typically conducted. No, they're not. They're not, unless recommended at the conclusion of Phase 1. Well, if you read what the entire email, and we have it posted on Facebook and several other places, they recommend a Phase 2. They don't say Phase 2. They say several wells around the area. We recommend that they be monitored over a long period of time. Now, they're not doing a Phase 2. They're saying they're doing a Phase 2. I call it a fake 2. Just enough to shut us up, to get us by. Let me read you what Bob said. He said, my decision to proceed is based solely on persistent and unsubstantiated, boy, the nerve of you, assertions by some critics, that'd be us, that the school board and its administration have failed to ensure the groundwater and soil composition meet standards that are safe for students and staff. Well, you haven't. You haven't proven that, and you still haven't. He says, this is the part that gets me. He's griping about the money, the $30,000 it's going to cost. He says the additional work could be spent on other critical needs. Well, yeah, like the $30,000 you're going to spend for the missing ACT scores. Libby Carter said this. This really galls me. And she said it to us at the school board meeting. We had no chance to reply. She said, it's a shame that we're forced into doing this. Oh, it's a shame you're forced into doing another study to make sure kids are safe when you're building near a pesticide dump. I hope this will prove we would not take a step forward that would harm students in any way. No, it doesn't prove it. It doesn't prove a thing, because you've already taken steps forward that may harm kids, and we have absolutely zero proof that it won't. And I'm going to end with what Cammie David said. Who cares? Who cares how you feel about the school board or anyone else? This is something that every single person should be riled up about. And if you want to work with the school board in a kind, friendly way, and that's fine. If you want to demand that Barath be fired like I'm doing, that's fine too. But no matter how you feel, we should all be behind stopping this foolishness that's going to harm our children, not just now, but in future generations.
Did they get the results on the Phase 2?
I don't know if they have them. They have not released them.
Okay. That'll be
the fake 2.
And secondly, they should not have used the same company. That's like going to the same doctor for a second opinion.
Yeah, makes no sense.
But, they don't want any confidence in their results. They just want results to say what they want them to say.
Well, Barath and Grimacy are choreographing this whole thing the way they want it to go. And I still want to know, did the school board know about these emails telling us that this school was not, that there were still chemicals remaining back in 2017 from the company that's doing the study?
All right, John, always an interesting extended Zoom All Zone, and we'll see you back next Wednesday. In the meantime, have yourself a great, safe day. We'll see you all back tomorrow for a thumping Thursday morning with the Leader Man. Until then, be sure to support all the mom and pop businesses you hear on our airwaves, because they are the backbone of our economy here in Moore County. Your money will stay here, roll over, and create jobs for all of us. And don't forget, millions of Americans have fought, they have died to give and protect the freedoms that you get to enjoy today. Live today worthy of their and their family's sacrifice. I'm Steve Leader Adams, and the Leader Man. And Nick and Colt the Dog will all see you at the hot, steamy dog park at 2 this afternoon.